No, this isn't CC, mate. This is qualifying. Welcome back, everyone, to Challenger League, season number 18. And after we started things off in Spain, Barcelona, we head to Igora Drive in St. Petersburg for round 2. And we're just following Ricky Boy as we go through the first few corners. Joined by Phantom. Do you want to run us down what happened last week? Well, the thing is, it's very interesting because first in the CL Championship isn't here, which is Elcrack, who is leading Sejush by 1 point. Sejush also isn't here, and third place being Starlight Alice also isn't here. So the top 3 from the last race in terms of points are not in this race, which is going to be very interesting. It's going to spice up the standings quite a bit. As stands though, we've got Kanatashvili, who finished last. I think DNF'd both the sprint and the feature last week, currently sitting on pole position. Followed by Jaruni on the front row with Sedged in third. Just a little clip from PB over there. Does he improve? He does improve. And a 27.88 should be the pole time, and it is. That'll be pole for the feature race and 10th, starting 10th for the sprint as normal. Jaruni and Arbor second and third. We've got Sedge in fourth, tied with Dog Gamer with that 28.08. We've got Glow in P6, then it's Gosa P7, Nos in 8th, then it's Axis and Ricky Boy rounding the top 10. So Ricky Boy will start with pole position for this sprint race in the wet. Then we've got Lexus, Albono and Mathigil rounding the grid up today. Yeah, again, it's going to be very interesting in terms of just who's going to get who's going to get the win. Dog Gamer did get pole last time out in Spain, but the highest he was able to finish was third in the sprint. So, and out of last week's field as well, we only have 2 drivers that scored podiums last week, being Dog Gamer and Jaruni, of course. Jaruni is the in terms of everyone driving today, he is the current championship leader. So just pay in mind where he is, and Dog Gamer is not too far behind him. Anyways, the lights are out, and Ricky Boy will lead us off with the sprint. He covers off turn 1 pretty well from Axis as they go in for the first time. He's still leading us through. It's a good start for both him and Gosa in the Rising Goat team. Nearly rebranded. You see Dog Gamer finding a lot of problems. Glow falling all the way back, and Axis finding some trouble as well as Krato is trying to weave his way through the field. Arbor with a big mistake there heads into the back of the field, but it's still Ricky Boy. And now Nos side by side heading into turn 1 to start the second lap. Nos has the inside. Ricky Boy runs fairly wide and he's going to give away the position. Now Nos is going to take the lead of the sprint. Goes in P3. Dog Gamer then Setch rounding out the top 5. It's Mathigil in 6th. Then Jaruni, Glow, PP, Lexus, Albono, and Axis rounding out the field, and with Arbor actually quite a long ways away already. It's not looking good for him after that very, very unfortunate start. Still Nos ahead, but now we've got effectively a 5-way pack for the lead. Gosa just hitting the inside of the grass into turn 2, slowing down and heading to the back of this field. He's still in the slipstream, but this is going to be a very tight few laps between these 5. They're bursting away from the field. They're already 2.5 seconds away from Jaruni in P6, who is getting followed by Krato and Glow. Definitely fast drivers here. Krato trying to make a move on the inside. Jaruni covering that off pretty well and getting a better exit as well. Sedge taking the fast lap of the race so far with a 29.12. He's still heading in this slip pack in P4. Oh, there, Ricky Boy with a mistake there. That might be the opportunity for this group to break off a little bit. Nos still in the lead. He's holding on very well. Doggamer in second place. Sedge in third. He dives a little too deep into the grass at the hairpin, and he's got Ricky Boy and Ghost for company. Ricky Boy really wants this move now. Going side by side. Really feisty, these goat cars at the moment. Ghost going round and just having enough space to make the move. There. Ghost in a P3, but they've lost the slipstream of the two in front. It's Doggamer and Nos now 1 and 2. Doggamer in front now as we finish up lap 5. It's a very tight midfield as the three who dropped off from that top two. Ghost actually losing a bit of time there. Might be the ping situation there as Krato gets his arms out and jumps up in the P5. Glow, Jaruni and Albano all in this pack as well as we see this midfield peloton becoming quite a bit bigger. I did not see what happened to Krato there, but he's just fallen all the way back to the back of this pack, and he's actually doesn't have slipstream with Albano. I see how much I'll change. These cars are going, they went 4 wide through that hairpin. That is insane. Wow. It's a bit shaky there from some of the drivers. I'm not sure if anything we're seeing is completely accurate in terms of the positioning. Jaruni trying to force his way through. Glow copying the brunt of that. That's very clearly something that's going to be looked at later. Ghost is still in 4th. Jaruni, Albano. Then it's Ricky Boy, Krato, Glow, Lexus in P10. Glow once again running a bit too deep in the inside of the hairpin, and he's just gone. That's our first retirement for today. Arbor in 10th, Axis, and following is Mathagil in P12 now. But it is Dog Game actually running away from everyone. Nos has dropped off quite a bit from that slipstream, and now it's Sedge's chance to get into the top 2 if he can keep his pace up. He's hounding him for the move here. They're going side by side in turn 1, and Sedge makes the move cleanly. He's into P2. Now the goal here for Nos surely will be try and hold on to a podium. It's Gosa next up on the road, about 2 seconds back, with Mr. Albano in tow actually, who's looking for a pretty good result here. P5, Jaruni in 6th, and this big, fast and wild pack is still going through at the wet. Krato now in the P7, and he's looking for the move on the inside in the hairpin, and he gets the job done. Alberto with a big mistake though, compromises Krato's exit, and Jaruni is back in the position. He's P5 now, and this is an absolute dogfight between 6 cars fighting for 5th place. Jaruni doesn't want to lose too many points to Dog Gamer, and Sedge as well. Oh no. Another mistake there. Just running a bit too wide side by side. Ricky Boy and Arbor now falling to the back of this pack. Still a pack though. Still got the slipstream. Jaruni trying to find a way through. And Albano and Krato still holding the slipstream. Lex is fighting in tow. There's only 3 laps to go here. Ghost is still trying to run away with P4. As Nos is looking comfortably set for P3. Sedge in 2nd with Dog Gamer's gap now 3 seconds as we enter the penultimate lap. He's also got fastest lap as well. If that is any benefit for him, he's been on a flawless display after a very chaotic first couple of laps, and the chaos really hasn't stopped behind him. Gosa now holding on against Jaruni. He's just in the slipstream, fighting for P4 here. Jaruni with a mistake though might lose it. Krato is fiending right behind him as well. He wants that P5, and to get his season back on track. Both drivers ending up hitting a bit of the grass. And we see behind them it's Albano. Oh my goodness, big shove there from Albano to hold on to the position, but now it's Lexus who's going to give him trouble heading to the final lap. But Arbor still in the fight with 9th, Ricky Boy, Axis and Mathagil, but it is Dog Gamer at the moment, putting in an absolute clinic in the rain today. He's coming around the final few corners, and he will win the sprint race at Igora Drive. It'll be Sedged with a first CL podium with P2, and Gosa is going to, not Gosa, Nos is going to finish P3, Gosa's going to hold on for P4, it's going to be Jaruni 5th, Krato in P6, Albano takes 2nd ahead of Lexus, it's Arbor, Ricky Boy, Axis, and Matthegill rounding us off. Very, very feisty race, that one. Yeah. Doggamer first, taking the fastest lap. Very, very comfortable drive from him, especially once he got into the lead. But he was having to deal with the mid-pack there for a couple of laps. He did start around the middle in P5, P6 area. Otherwise, Setch putting in a solid shift. Nos as well. We got 2 debutants onto the podium for the very first time. And that's always something you love to see. Oh, Sedge's had a podium, sorry. So it's Nos's first podium and Sedge's best result in CL. Okay, I've just got that corrected. For the rest of the grid, Gosa 4th, Jerini in P5, and it's Crado in 6th, getting his first few proper points finish. Albono in 7th, and it's Lexus, Arbor, and Ricky Boy rounding the top 10 with Axis, Matthegill, and Glow our only retirement. So with that in, we're just going to shuffle the order a little bit, return to how it was in qualifying, and we will head on to the feature race. Alrighty, here we are. Crado leading us off. 35 lap race of Igora Drive. The lights are out. We are underway. Crado holding the lead here. Jerini bunching everyone up a little bit, it seems like. Arbor going through. Setch with a big lunge into turn 2. Tries to make way through the HRT cars in front of him. There's not going to be anything going there. Doggamer still in 5th. Gosa and then Nos, Glow, Ricky Boy and Albono. So it's starting out pretty much as we saw. We've got Gosa and Glow going with an alternate strategy to start the race in the top 10 at the moment. Those two on mediums. Glow getting knocked into the gravel there. I'm not sure who by. Axis, Matthegill, and Lexus are also at the back here, and all starting on different tyres as well. So we've got to see how that plays out later in the race. Axis falling away to the back of the field here. Glow with another big error. Another couple more. He drops to the back. What can he do from this position though? There's definitely a lot to do. And he DNFs again. That is definitely not what you want to see. Back at the front though, something's happened because Krato's lost the lead to Jerini, and Doggamer is now in P2. So these two, as I was saying earlier, title protagonists, at least for this race at the moment. Doggamer especially now with that win in the sprint race. Jerini holding the lead though. Goes in 4th. Then Sedge and Arbor with fighting with Ricky Boy side by side through the hairpin. They both get through fairly cleanly, but the gaps are already starting to show a little bit. The top 5 just barely holding on the slipstream. Sedge over there as we enter turn 4 once again. Doggamer struggling there. Gosa with a very weird, just a bit of a shaky entry into that section, and he's lost a lot of time that way, and he's lost the slipstream of those on the soft compound, which can really prove the difference when you're slipstreaming, of course. Another lap of this one, and Doggamer is now in the lead. Jerini, Sedge, and Krato, these 4 just seem to run away. Gosa with another big error, and that's going to let Arbor and Ricky Boy come through and get a little closer to him. They are fighting quite hard though, as it stands. Ricky Boy trying to make a move through the inside. He makes a stick. Very good move there from him. Arbor has the slipstream, but he's going to have to be forced to the outside under turn 1. And Ricky Boy will make the position stick for now into P6. Albono and Nos, the 2 Mazda Motorsports drivers, 8th and 9th as it stands, with Lexus in the top 10. Got Matthegill and Axis at the back as well. Those two rounding up the 12 drivers still remaining in the race. Let's head back to the front. It is still Doggamer in the lead. Jerini struggling a little bit. Oh my god, Sedge maybe a bit too aggressive there, just trying to look for a move that really wasn't there at all. And he's lost this group now. It is a 3-pack, and Doggamer is threatening to run away as well. He's almost a full second ahead of Jerini after that last sector. And Jerini isn't going to start this lap with Slipstream. What will Krato do? Oh my goodness, on my side, it did look like he just straight up punted into turn 1. It didn't seem that way, but he's putting the pressure on Girouni. Girouni would really like to not be battling and try to make some headway towards Dog Gamer, because he knows more importantly that that's going to be his race later in the race. Perhaps that's what he wants to achieve in this race. He wants this win. Krato has actually made a really big mess of that final sector, and Setch is actually in for the first stop of the day. He's in for another stop. Harper sliding with Albono. He's hit the pit wall. I'm not sure how that's happened, but yeah, Albono onto mediums, Arbor onto hard, sorry. Setch earlier swapped to the soft compound, so he's hoping for a nice, quick undercut. There we go, we're seeing Dog Gamer and Girouni into the pits. Lap 9 is the expected time for the pits stops, we'll see. They both go into the hard tyre, and they both end up ahead of Setch, who now has Lexus for company, sitting between the two drivers who have just bit. Lexus with a big mistake. Setch gets caught out, and he's lost a bit more time there, and it's going to be very tough for Setch to bring the gap down between the guys who are currently pitted. Krato is finally in. He went 10 laps on the soft, so he's going for another set of the soft compound. Or he as well ends up behind Lexus for a lap. We'll see how long Lexus holds onto the mediums. Speaking of holding onto the mediums, Gosa, currently in P1, still has a little bit of a gap to Girouni and Dog Gamer. Obviously those two have stopped already. This is looking pretty decent for Gosa. If you can get these get the fresher tyres working a little bit later into the race, we can really see him perhaps do something quite interesting, perhaps with one fewer pit stop as well. As it stands, he sits in P6 after pitting, and he's right behind Mr. Albono as it stands. Lexus are also pitting onto the hard tyres and sitting in P8. Got Arbor DNFing, so that makes 2 DNFs this race. Now Axis is running fresh mediums as well. He was the last one to pit, I believe. No, Matthew is still running on the hards. 12 laps. We'll see if he calls it there. Doesn't look like it. He's still going for another lap. Let's go back to the front. It's Dog Gamer and Girouni. Girouni's done an excellent job over the last couple of laps catching up to Dog Gamer's slipstream. So now he's got the... at least he doesn't have to worry about the hard pit, which is actually catching his opponent for now. I mean, it's always one thing to catch and another to make the overtake done, but both are very difficult. So as long as if you've got one done early in the race and you can set up the overtake a little bit later, then maybe you can get something done. Girouni though, I might have cursed him a little bit. He might have just lost his slipstream. I think he caught Dog Gamer's, like the back of Dog Gamer's car, and caught some of the off-road. Speaking of catching cars though, Setch on the soft compound tyre is just catching up to these two. The big asterisk on that is Setch will have to pit relatively soon. He only bolted on those softs on lap 8, so he is looking for a pit either next lap or the lap after. He does make a bit of a mistake there, letting the gap grow a little bit. Got Krato in P4, still on a relatively fresh set of softs, and he's slowly making his way back to the top 3. Gosa and Albono still running 5th and 6th. Gosa on the hards, Albono on the mediums, and Gosa's hards are still rather fresh, considering how long ago, how long he ran the mediums for, of course. But Albono is still pounding him, but Albono's really lost a bit of grip on these tyres, so it's going to be a bit touch and go if he goes in. There's Setch on the undercuts. Heads in behind Nos. We'll see if he can make a move at any point. He tries to run inside. It's a bit of a desperate dive there. Nos catching a little bit of the trailer as well from Setch. We do know the high ping comes into play sometimes. But I think this one will be a clear, easy overtake for the Tunisian driver, and he gets through. Very important to get that move done. Couldn't afford being held up any more than he already was. Let's head back to the front, because it's still a two-horse race between Dog Gamer and Jaruni. Currently aging out the hards now. They're entering their 10th lap of use, so they'll soon be hoping for new rubber. But these hard tyres can go quite a bit. In the meantime, though, we've got Krato almost completely used up his softs in the effort to chase him, though. Chase those two. And the gap, honestly, is a bit for someone who was using softs against hards. The gaps is a bit large. I wasn't expecting the time to be this much of a difference. I think I saw someone make a mistake. Jaruni's lost the slipstream again to Dog Gamer. The gap's now a little over half a second. Jaruni's doing a good job of getting a better exit there, but it's still not enough to get the slipstream. It's 0.8 gap. Krato is finally into the pits, so he's run 2 sets of softs for 10 laps, and I think he's trying to go hards to the end from here. 15 laps on the hards is the play from Kratoshvili right here. Very, very intriguing two-stop strategy, as we see Sedge now should be on the 3-stop with this, with what it's looking like. Still Dog Gamer and Jaruni, 1-2, they're comfortable. Dog Gamer still with a gentle gap. He hasn't shaken Jaruni off, but Jaruni isn't close enough to get slipstream just yet. The tyre wear is also going to start digging into these drives a little bit. It'll be interesting to see who picks first. I'm assuming they're both going to be on a set of mediums to finish the race. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a really fun challenge to see who's going to end up taking it at the end, because they definitely don't want to be ending up on opposite tyres, which you could be prone to seeing if someone tries to do a really early undercut. But they have got daylight between these two and the next driver, who is actually overtaking Gosa for P3, and Kratoshvili still has to make the overtake as well. Gosa on very old hard tyres, still running them quite nicely. He's just following Sedge's slipstream. Krato in P5, still trying to claw back the disadvantage. But the difference here is that Sedge will be on having to pit. Krato will not have to pit here. So he is on the road, he's net P3. Gosa in. The front leaders have also come in. Sedge maybe taking a bit too much evasive action there, and Jaruni has lost about a couple tenths more in the pit stop phase in the last lap. So Jaruni is now a full lap behind, full second, not a lap. Jesus, he's a full second behind Dog Gamer, who's now streaming to the lead on those fresh medium tyres. Kratoshvili just holding onto the slipstream for now, and Sedge still running. Oh my goodness, what a dive. He's going to make this one spicy, folks. He runs around the inside and he makes the move. Jaruni catching a bit of the grass on the edge of the track, and he surrendered P2. This is going to be huge for Dog Gamer as well. He can run away from both of them with a very due time. He's got a 2-second gap to Jaruni as Sedge makes his final stop of the race onto the soft compound. Who else is still going to go? Gosa is still just only pitted onto mediums. Albono on the hards, and I think he's going for the same strategy as Kratoshvili is going to finish on the hards on that specific set. We've got Nos on a fresher set of hards, it seems like. Lexus on relatively new mediums. Ricky Boy fresh mediums. And Matheville making the pit stop. Onto softs for 8 laps, not 7. Regardless, Krato is still ahead of Jaruni still holding him up a little bit, I'd figure. The gap between second and first now, Dog Gamer extending it to 3 seconds. And this is looking just about over for the race win. This is going to be the deciding moment. We're going to see Jaruni getting really feisty here. Krato with the elbows out, putting as much defense as possible to hold the position. Still Jaruni as he comes out of the chicane and into the hairpin. Jaruni with a bad exit though. A little bit of defensive driving here from the Belarusian. It's Krato still on his heels. The gap's now 4 seconds. Dog Gamer can feel the win already. Hoping nothing insane happens, of course. Jaruni just trying to get back into the swing of things, it feels like. He had a pretty poor lap as I remember it last time round, but that's a bit better. But the whole point here is to try and avoid Crashishville, because at the end of the race, Krato's tyres are going to be super usable compared to Jaruni's, at least I'd assume as much. But also Jaruni, and I think he's going for 10 mediums. I don't entirely remember if it was 10 or 11 mediums. Either way, definitely a good spot to be in. But still, the gap to first now, 4.79. That might be a little over ambitious for Jaruni to get any higher than second from here. Crashishville can still make a silver medal if he wants to really put the hammer down. Then it's Sedge just having a quiet race ahead of. He's definitely ahead of people, but he is nowhere behind all the other guys at the moment. He sits in P4. Then it's Albano and Gosa running side by side in P5. This is a battle for P5 actually. So Albano is actually finding this really hard, and he's going to be really struggling these last few laps on the medium, on the hard tyre as well, compared to Gosa's fresher medium tyres. So you'd have to think maybe Albano might. I was going to say he might try and fight something to find something to keep this battle going and maybe charge fourth, or he could potentially put the old. I'm trying to think of a joke. It's not really working for that. Regardless, I'm gonna jump to Lita, who is absolutely flying now. 5.65 the gap, and it feels like it's only getting larger as Kratishville is actually fighting really hard. It is the last lap after all. He's put his elbows out, and Jaruni is going to do everything he can to maybe salvage this P2. There's a couple of other battles heading in the field. Jaruni makes a move on the inside. It's going to become the outside. We're going to jump our attention to Dog Gamer, who makes it a back-to-back victory. He clean sweeps in Igora Drive, the sprint and the feature for him. Jaruni will take P2 ahead of Kratishville by a very slim margin, and it'll be set to finish in P4. Gosa rounding the final corners, Albano and Nos on his rear wing, but he's going to take P5. It's going to be Lexus in P8, then it's Axis and Ricky Boy finishing 9th and 10th, and then we've just got Mash's Gill rounding up the field, finishing 11th with 2 DNFs being Arpa and Glow earlier. Everyone besides Sedge running the 2-stop strategy, with him running the 3-stop. Pretty interesting race, and Krato will also take home the fastest lap of the race as well. But yeah, that was it. Fun time. Sucks that I didn't have a co-commentator, but what can you do? Everyone's sick or tired or both. You know how it is. But yeah, that'll be it for today. We'll see you guys next week for Nusantara, I believe, was the first round 3 track. But yeah, we'll see you guys for next week, and we'll catch you with more Challenger League later.